technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Ms. Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Ms. Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Ms. Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Miss Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education Office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Miss Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Miss Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education Office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Miss Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Miss Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education Office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Miss Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Miss Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education Office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Miss Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Miss Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education Office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Miss Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Miss Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education Office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Miss Savage taught me a lot of different things. She taught me brands, generic, classifications, things a clerk would do.
She has completed an internship at her site at a pharmacy where she completed 120 hours of internship hours to get her experience in pharmacy.
This is an exciting time to be a participant or student at Rialto Adult School. Not only are we extremely proud of Stephanie Gonzalez and all of the achievements that she's acquired, but we're excited about the opportunities that we offer our students to achieve their diploma, complete their GED, and pass the test. We follow and support our students through the process. The CTE offerings, they complete that program and they are actually pharmacists. They can go into the workforce and get jobs.
I feel very excited about myself because I doubted myself so much. I didn't really know I was capable of doing this because I'm the first in my family to actually graduate from high school and get a career right after high school. And me being so young, I feel like I need to tell myself I started early and I just need to keep going further in life.
On today's Bridging Futures, we highlight Rialto Adult School graduate Stephanie Gonzalez through her career journey as a pharmaceutical technician.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. Everything started when I started Myler. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. When I met Miss Savage, she told me about her medical class, her pharmacy clerk class, and her pharmacy technician class.
At Myler High School, while she was going to high school, she completed my program with the pharmacy clerk, the medical assisting, and also the pharmacy tech. At that point, when she graduated, she transferred over to our pharmacy technician program, the adult ed program at the Rialto Adult Education Office.
I talked to my counselor and I told her that I wanted her to enroll me in the pharmacy tech clerk class. She enrolled me in immediately and I started taking it. And from there, Miss Savage taught
Yeah, it's warm with a jacket on too.
I just want to make sure that if there is anyone who needs Spanish translation, Mr. Jose is here. Please raise your hand. Thank you.
Queremos asegurarnos que si algunas personas desean usar los servicios de interpretación, yo soy José y estoy aquí para su servicio. Por favor, levanten la mano y les acercamos unos auriculares.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, open session is reconvening at 7:19 p.m. Tonight we have a special treat with Cusera Middle School student musicians. Cusera Middle School 7th grade student spokesman Owen Ochoa will introduce the act, but first he will lead us in the pledge. Take it away, Owen.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now, led by Cusera Middle School Music Director, Mrs. Nancy Harris, we have some talented string and band students who will perform for us. Take it away, Coyotes. Okay. I want to thank Mrs. Harris, Coursera administration, staff, and especially you, our parents and guardians and families, for attending and supporting our deserving student musicians. Go Coyotes! Okay, and now we have to adjourn out of closed session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Dr. Avila, do we have a report out of closed session?
Yes, we do. We have the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Elizabeth Curtis, Lead Innovation Agent, effective January 30th, 2020. The roll call vote was unanimous. And the Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment, Juan Sedano, Nutrition Services Supervisor. The roll call vote was unanimous.
Thank you. All right. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move with the exception. So move with the exception of pulling from item K3 regarding 192040.
Right.
So we will pull that from tonight's agenda, if that's okay.
And before the agenda is adopted, I need to note a correction to fiscal impact as follows. What was written was fiscal impact $4,000 from the general fund site budget, $3,100 in donations, $900, and that changed to fiscal impact $4,160, ASB fund $3,260, and general site fund donation $900, and that is from item G4. Okay, so
Motion to approve as amended, the agenda.
is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, presentations. First, we have our high school district student advisory committees, DSAC, and I will turn it over to Aviance, who will lead the way.
Thank you, President O'Kelly. First up, representing Rialto High School, we have Maya Smith.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Maya Smith, and I am the proud ASB co-president of Rialto High School. I am excited to share with you some of the great things taking place on our campus. History was made this winter with the sports season, with both the Lady Knights and Knight soccer teams earning the San Andreas League titles for the same year, and Knight Wrestling earned 5 league titles. The road to CIF begins today as our boys soccer hosts Chaffee High and boys basketball travel to Yorba Linda. Girls soccer hosts Sage Hill on Thursday, and our 9 playoff-bound wrestlers head to Carter on Friday. Our varsity cheer squad is headed out to Anaheim this weekend to defend their title at the USA Nationals. Congratulations to all the athletes, coaches, and parents who worked so hard this season. A huge shout out to Hector De Leon for being named the San Bernardino Sun Athlete of the Week. Our academic decathlon team also made history this year by earning 5th place out of 43 teams at the San Bernardino County Academic Decathlon Competition. Congratulations to our Acadeca team members, Coach Mr. A, Kenny Hua for earning the highest score for varsity, Philip A for earning 3rd place in essay, Malia Pope for earning 2nd place in science and 3rd place in literature, and Adrian Zuniga for earning 1st place in interviews, the highest score for junior varsity.
Awesome.
We are proud to announce that Rialto High was also represented at the District Science Fair with Joseph Tabra and Ryan Gutierrez earning a third place medal, Sean Peck earning a community award and second place medal, Shade Wilson, Citlali Olivera, and Kenneth Diaz Garcia earning a first place medal. Elisa Castellanos Boites, Brianna Waters, and Eric Rojas earned a third place trophy. Valeria Moreno earned a community award, and Prince Arthur earned the sweepstakes award. Great job to all of you and to science teacher Miss Valero for all your hard work. This evening we are hosting our annual Sadie's Hawking event at Cal State Grand Terrace, and our Renaissance program will be honoring our top 100 scholars with a sweet social on February 25th. Shout out to our Mesa program and Mr. Thompson for hosting the regional Rube Goldberg competition this past weekend. Great job hosting and qualifying for nationals and Indiana too. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on our campus and at our events. Have a great evening and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Next up, we have Steve Paez representing Eisenhower High School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education Superintendent Dr. Avila, and the viewing audience. I am Steve Paez, the proud ASB president of Eisenhower High School. Eisenhower is in playoff mode. 6 out of 7 of our winter sports qualified for playoffs. We are proud to congratulate head coaches Julian Jimenez and Kyle Stevenson in creating the winning program of our girls water polo to reach CIF playoffs. It has been 21 years since the girls have made playoffs. It is such a huge accomplishment, and we couldn't be more excited for them. I would like to congratulate the head boys basketball coach Jonathan Cheney and the boys basketball program on their success in bringing home back-to-back San Andres League titles. They play tonight against Saddleback Valley Christian. The game is just finished now, and they won 70-54. Congratulations. I am proud to congratulate the head girls basketball coach Antonio Quintero and the Lady Eagles in winning the San Andres League championship. They play at Eisenhower High School tomorrow night at 6 p.m. against Valley Christian Cerritos. This past Monday, head boys soccer coach Andres Solarsano and our boys soccer team won their wild card game against Jurupa Hills, and they played against Citrus Hill. We are proud of the head coaches Juan Escamilla and Tyler Doe for guiding the following wrestlers: Asante Green, Joaquin Castro, Crystal Solano Soto, Ashley Barber, Jesse Diaz to compete in Eastern Divisional Championship matches. Congratulations to the academic advisor Kellen Quinto as they represented Eisenhower at this year's San Bernardino County Academic Decathlon competition. They accomplished a respectful 10th place finish out of 40 schools. Huge shout out to the math department, Philip Succi, earning a first place finish in varsity math. Jareli Olivares scored 3rd in varsity math, and Osvar Saldana earned a first place finish in junior varsity math. Eisenhower's green team top overall scorer was Jennifer Ramos, and the gold team top overall scorer was Andre Balboa. A big shout out to the Eisenhower drumline and their pit as they continue to bring in trophies after trophies at every competition they enter. This past week, the band percussion scored a 62.850 for a first place finish at Colony High School. We would like to thank Gina Falcons, our cheer squad for putting countless nights in supporting all our teams above and giving the student athletes a winning environment. Last month, we were excited to reward 63 freshmen who had straight A's for the first semester. Each A-list freshman received a meal from Chick-fil-A. We are so proud. We are so thankful and for the partnership we have had with them. Thank you for taking the time about the great things that are happening at Eisenhower High School.
That's all we have for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, next we have a presentation for the Bridge Builder Award, and the recipient is Mrs. Jean Randall, former Rialto Unified School District elementary teacher and community leader.
Okay. We could have her stay there for most of this. Can we move the chair just in case? She may get tired of listening to me. Okay. 3 years ago, the concept of Bridge Builder Award was introduced to Rialto Unified School District by Superintendent Dr. Avila. A bridge builder is a person who translates a mission into action and inspires others to do the same. This person exhibits a high level of integrity through example and actively seeks new ways to grow as an educator, student, or a community leader. A bridge builder is a consummate team player who continues a strategic personal path, understanding that all decisions in our district are made in the best interest of students and they take charge in the most positive light, leading with compassion and kindness. These words resonate when we talk about my new friend, a former grammar school teacher. Put that red pen away. Miss Jean M. Randall. Morgan School is named for her dad. I didn't know that. This is quite a family here. Mrs. Randall is one of Rialto's most beloved treasures. She was born 100 years ago in Rialto. She just had a birthday bash last Saturday in Rialto, where 100 people attended. I'm sorry I did not attend. I meant to, but family stuff. Mrs. Randall taught at Rialto Grammar School over 15 years. It was some of the best times of my life with those children, she recalled. Mrs. Randall was married in 1941 and outlived her husband, B. Michael Randall, who passed at the age of 77 in 1994. Her two daughters, Kristen and Kathy, we have at least one of them here, don't we? Come on up. Friends and family, come on up.
Karen, next time. Well, thank you, Karen.
Yes. That's okay. You're in good company. Believe me. Okay. Her two daughters, Kristen and Kathy, graduated from Eisenhower High School, but also have passed. But here tonight with Mrs. Randall is her eldest daughter, Karen. Are you Karen?
I am.
This is Karen. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I would have gone to Eisenhower High School too, said Karen, but it wasn't built yet. I remember those days too. Yeah, there was a lot of space then. Mrs. Randall was an educator who gave back to the community, volunteering whenever and wherever her name was called. Mr. Brian Montez, RUSD ground supervisor and RUSD historian, has worked with Mrs. Randall for 12 years. Mr. Montez, are you here? Okay. He says, Jean and I have worked closely to allow the district to acquire copies of the majority of the district's historical document, photographs, dating back as far as the 1800s. In turn, I have provided the Historical Society with items for their collection that they did not already have. Jean is a living history book, recounting stories of early Rialto school days and events that took place within the city and district. She first taught at Henry Elementary, then at Boyd Elementary. Jean taught many years in Rialto and loved teaching second grade. There's a calling there. Absolutely. Jean has been an active citizen in Rialto her entire life, especially with the Women's Club. She has been an avid supporter of the city, school district, and the education system as a whole. In all, Jean has been the model citizen throughout her entire life. Congratulations to her on this auspicious occasion, for she is a deserving recipient of this award. Mrs. Randall, this Board of Education, the Superintendent, Dr. Avila, value you because through grace and preserving history and in a positive light, you identify with our district, and we thank you. Happy 100th birthday.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're not going to get away so easy. Come on up and sit. Yeah. Go ahead and give us a few words, if you will.
I was going to say, when I was growing up, it was all orange groves and no people. And so you knew everybody, and everybody knew you, and they knew exactly what you did and when. So you were on the short line.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm proud of my mom. She's always been a part of Rialto, and driving around with her is so fun because she can tell you who everybody is, where they lived, what they did. It's like she's a walking encyclopedia.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Mom, what is your secret for living 100 years?
No secret at all. Just long time here with a good family, and enjoyed every bit of it. Teaching was fun.
Excellent.
Actually fun.
Yes, absolutely. That's the key, isn't it? Ms. Randall, the Bridge Builder Award, presented on February 12th, 2020, tonight, to Jean Morgan Randall, former RUSD student, RUSD teacher. We cannot know our future if we do not understand the depth of our history. We are proud to honor a former RUSD veteran grammar school teacher who was born, raised, and for 100 years has lived in the city of Rialto. She has promoted kindness in our district, which is evident through the positive artifacts and history that have been collected and preserved at the Rialto Historical Society. Thank you for being that bridge that connects students and the community together. And thank you for being that bridge builder.
I really appreciate it.
Take your time.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my honor.
Turn around here, Jean, for me.
Has to dance?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with the whole group, you got the whole. How about let everybody else move up to them? Everybody else can move up to you.
Come on, that's really beautiful.
Now, I'm not going to be able to hold. You want something I like? Here, I do it with one hand. You can do it with one hand. Look at you. And somebody wants to change.
That's all.
All right. So we need to get a picture, a keepsake picture for the Rialto Historical Society. Okay. They're right over here. Sorry, now I come here. There you go. Smile. Big smile.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's right. This told me to go this way. This way, she wants to go that way. No. All the way, you wait. Yes.
I can see.
Yeah, with group. We're just gonna, I'm not using that one, we're going that way. It's closer to your house. That way. That one's in that way.
You see your comment.
You're leading me around. Oh, I did what you were I could have done it better.
Yes.
Stay well, Judy.
Judy.
Karen, your right hand. I'm here.
Thank you, Nancy. That was a real treat.
Yes.
Oh, wow, she's still getting around.
She's sharp.
Yes.
Okay, do we have the coach for our student boxers? Boxing's?
Yes, it's Mr. Gary Boykin.
Good evening. I don't know how you follow a centurion. That's kind of tough. And so I want to say good evening to President O'Kelly, Dr. Avila, School Board. My name is Terry Boykins. I'm the interim executive director of a program, after-school program called Project Fighting Chance. And I'm here, and unfortunately, the boxers are not here because they are currently training and preparing for their next competition schedule. One of which, Charles Lolo Harris, which is bittersweet, from Eisenhower High School, has just been selected to represent the United States boxing for the Olympic Games. Yeah. So he is on course to represent the United States in the Olympics. So you all, once again, will have another great athlete that will be from Rialto, from Eisenhower. He is one of the trio. Is that better, everyone?
Yes.
Other Harris brothers. Charles, of course, Lolo from Eisenhower, Ruffin, the Hammer, Harris from Kolb, and then Isaiah have all just won the national titles of the United States representing amateur boxing, and right here from Rialto. You know, and it is very exciting to be a part of this program. And Dr. Avila, I think when we met maybe about a year ago, I think Lola had just come back from the Junior Olympics. Mm-hmm. And from that point in time, he has gone on to win, I want to say, maybe 4 or 5 titles, representing and staying focused as a humble young man. It's exciting. But I'm going to tell you what's really exciting is this is a result of an after-school program. An after-school program that resulted in producing, unheard of in the United States, 5 national champions from this area. And Coach Ian Franklin, who's training right now, he's getting boxers ready for Reno. We have one gentleman who is terrible, Terry Washington, from Pacific High School in San Bernardino, has won his consecutive 5th national title. These are all young men from an after-school program. And so when you talk about how the community supports after-school programs and how we begin to work from beginning boxing with young men from the inner city that have traveled around the United States, now as ambassadors, to represent what we have put out in this country as something very important as a program. And one of the missions that they have taken forth is to reduce the impact of childhood violence, aggression, and trauma in our communities. These gentlemen have the microphone with their peers to talk about the impact that trauma has on a child's ability to learn, a child's ability to function in society, a child's ability to succeed. And they have committed themselves to be champions, not just in the boxing ring, but to spread a message amongst their peers and those individuals that come in contact with them, to reduce child maltreatment. And when you are a boxing champion, you get the microphone. And these young men now have the microphone, and Lolo will have the largest amateur platform in the world as he represents the United States of America and USA Boxing in preparing for the 2024 Olympic Games. He has already landed in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It is bittersweet. He has gone from the Inland Empire into another level with the Harris brothers, and so we're very proud, and we want to say thank you very much. And this also, just to let you know how connected Rialto is to the success. Chief Gordon Leary, this program would not have existed if he had not encouraged Ian Franklin to take his skills as a boxing coach and come out of his garage into the community, into putting the program in place as an after-school program. And as a result of that, Chief Gordon Leary is really responsible for Project Fighting Chance being where it's at today. And so we are very thankful to Rialto. We're very excited about what's coming next. And I want to basically say on behalf of Project Fighting Chance, all the programs that we're working on, the importance of ADA, of getting kids to school, making sure they're attending school, making sure they're not truant, PBIS, SEL, all of these programs we work to ensure that our athletes are not just competitive, but they are productive scholars that are going to value education and move forward and make a difference. And I can tell you, reducing the impact of trauma in our kids is going to, without question, produce better students, better communities, better families, and these better men that will be able to lead and make a difference. So I want to say thank you very much. We appreciate it. Wish us well. We look forward to bringing home gold for the USA and bringing it right back here to Rialto. So thank you very much, Rialto. And they told me to make sure I take a picture so I can send it to them while they are training. Is that okay if we can do that?
Sure.
Okay, great. Okay. Somebody, can we get it with all of these?
Yeah.
You know what, he's going to do one. It's quicker.
Thank you very much for those words, and we are all very excited for our students that you are working with. Thank you. Okay, we move on to public comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We have some. Tobin Brinker.
Good evening. I've been studying President Lincoln's famous House Divided speech. When he delivered it, he was viewed as a radical. He made the assertion that a house divided against itself cannot stand, and went on to say, "I believe that this government cannot endure permanently half slave and half free." When he gave the speech, he was running for the United States Senate from Illinois, and he lost. But 2 years later, he was being sworn in as President of these United States, and his remarks seemed prescient as the Civil War loomed on the horizon. Our school district is deeply divided. The rank-and-file teachers have many serious concerns about the safety and security of our students and ourselves. District management seems oddly disconnected. While teachers describe severe increases in bad and often violent student behavior, management is praising themselves for lowered suspension rates. A district divided against itself cannot stand. The system is rigged. The data is false. I refuse to be gaslighted. I see it every day on my campus, and the teachers in our district are united, we are strong, and we communicate with each other. The pressure on administrators to fudge the data or reduce or remove consequences is just too great. Suspensions are now on the dashboard. PBIS rewards are based on lowering suspensions. But there's hope. The Rialto Bridge is our district symbol, but it needs to be more than just a symbol. The gap between what teachers know is happening and what admin is publicizing needs to shrink. We need to face what's really happening. And if the school board fails to act, we'll have to elect a new school board. Our students deserve to be safe. If the superintendent doesn't listen to us and address these issues soon, we run the very serious risk of a major incident in this district. We are here as advocates for a safer school district, and we need to be part of the solution. Thank you very much.
Can you wait till we call your name?
Yeah. Michael Montano.
Huh?
Michael Montano.
Good evening. I'm going to start with some words from a very inspirational person. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King. We have a lot of people waiting for the district to fly, run, walk, or at least crawl in a forward direction. Too often it seems like we take one step forward and 2 steps back. For example, we started a district-wide PBIS system at our schools, but implemented it without a discipline plan, so that students are not being treated equally, and there's rarely anything restorative about our current practices. We had many people tonight and last month outside to share their needs on that, their concerns on that. 3, 4, 5 years ago, we said that we were going to push for all our 3rd graders to be reading at grade level, and there hasn't been much talk of that lately. Have our scores gone up in the last 3, 4, 5 years? I brought some information on that for the board. There's some research on information. So again, kind of we seem 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Last year I came and spoke about an incident at our school at Rialto High where there was an issue with fire extinguishers, where I brought up to our school site council, concerns were shared to me and solutions were presented, and when I shared that with the school site council, our then principal, Mr. Arnie Ellis, said that we were at the mercy of the district. So I came to speak here at a board meeting on that, and then found out that that was not true, that it was at the site. So I emailed Ms. O'Kelly and our superintendent about the incident, and kind of a ruckus broke out at the school, things being done, and our custodians were asked to check and double check that the extinguishers were there after the fact, and then an email sent out, if there's one missing, you need to let us know immediately, as if to say, it never happened here. Well, guess what? Last week, we got an email that said, and I'm quoting, and it's in there, we have picked up all the fire extinguishers. Last year we were only asking for a safer way to move forward, and it's happened again, but because it got buried, because nothing ever bad happens at our school, we're in the same predicament. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Again, this was former principal. I'm glad, actually tomorrow we have another school site council meeting that I will be addressing this issue as our safety plan is on the agenda, which is also in there for you to see, and I'm feeling positive things will be different this time around. But again, sometimes it's one step forward, two steps back. So besides those cover-ups, a major concern with REA also is, what did we do with our principal last year? We gave him a promotion in an already top-heavy administrative district when funds could be spent elsewhere. So again, I'm just echoing the concerns of the other people here today. We have serious safety concerns. And if we're gonna, in our teacher shortage that we're facing, two things are gonna attract teachers: pay and working conditions. We used to be higher than we are in pay, and I'm not saying that we need to pay more, but nobody would complain about that. But we have a lot of people saying we need to improve our safety conditions, so it's time for us to start crawling forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maisha Calloway.
Good evening, board, families, teachers here tonight. I'm Aisha Calloway. I'm very connected to this district. I am a graduate of Rialto High School. I'm also currently the vice president of the REA. 15 years teaching here. I chose to come back to my community, but a lot of things have changed. I get really concerned because as teachers and staff, we're the troops, we're the soldiers. We're the ones that are on the ground. Everyone else is overlooking us, looking down at us, but we're requesting things and we need to be heard at this point. We're highly concerned about the safety, not only for the staff, but the other students. No one is thinking about what trauma these students are going through when they're watching their teacher being cussed out. No one's thinking about the children who live at home with abuse, violence, and then they come to school and they have to watch their peers flip desks in the classroom, punch holes into the walls. We're starting to notice that the answer around here is, oh, I don't want to step on toes at the district office. So you guys are leaving the troops who are all here, they're in the back, they're in the hallway. You're leaving us with nothing, no tools, nothing to work with. We've been begging for things to help us. We've been begging for staff for the wellness center, which is a part of PBIS. We've been asking for therapists, mental health people to come help the students. Obviously, if it's not going on at home, some of the families don't know what to do with their students. As a public school district, things have changed and we need to change along with it. A lot of times in this district, I notice we say the same thing over and over again and nothing happens till something major happens. I'm praying and hoping that we don't end up like other districts and we don't end up on the news. And that's because a student is hurt or a teacher is hurt. The troops are here and we are begging for help. I don't know what else you guys want us to do, but I hope that we can get help. We have a lot of administrators who discourage the teachers from going to the union. We have a lot of our administrators that are not passing on the information to the district office. All the troops want is a little bit of help here. We don't know what else you guys want us to do, and our hands are tied. I'm going to say this again. We are the troops on the ground, and we are asking for help. We are the troops on the ground, and we are asking for help. This is my community, Rialto. These are the children that have to live in Rialto and be the future of Rialto. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mercedes Perez.
Disculpen. Or I should probably say, I'm going to say my speech in Spanish because I want the community to understand. Okay?
English or do you want to do
Yo voy a hablar en español.
Si la pregunta es si
Que
usted
sí.
quiere que yo interprete al inglés.
Para ellos.
Can you just give him the opportunity to translate it for you for the English speaking, for our monolingual, for our
Well, I wanted to give it
monolingual
in
listeners?
I want to do it in Spanish.
No, that's fine, but could you just pause so that he can translate it so
So you
people who
can-
can't understand it?
Okay,
I
está
can
bien.
understand it.
No, está bien, sí. Sí,
Okay.
está bien. Buenas tardes, miembros de la mesa directiva, Superintendente Ávila.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Ávila.
Soy Mercedes Pérez
I'm Mercedes Perez,
y soy maestra de segundo grado en la escuela Henry.
and I'm a second grade teacher at Henry School.
Estoy hablando en español porque quiero que los miembros de esta comunidad me entiendan.
I'm speaking Spanish because I want the members of this community to understand.
Tengo más o menos 23 años de maestra en este distrito.
I have been a teacher in this district for about 23 years.
En este tiempo he tenido muy pocos problemas de disciplina,
During that time, I've had very few discipline problems,
pero esto cambió hace 2 años.
but this has changed 2 years ago.
Hace 2 años trabajaba en otra escuela.
2 years ago, I used to work at another school.
En el año escolar 2017-2018,
School year 2017-2018.
planeé mi año como otro año con actividades para reconocer y conocernos uno con los niños.
I planned my year with many activities, just like any other year, so that I could get to know my children could get to know me.
En la tarde hice una actividad de matemáticas contando en decenas y unidades.
In the afternoon, I had a math activity counting dozens,
Tens and ones.
Tens and ones.
Y un niño se paró y me dijo que estaba fea, que estaba gorda, que me odiaba
A child stood up and he told me that I was ugly, that I was fat, and that he hated me,
y que nunca iba a regresar a mi clase.
and that he was never going to come back to my class.
En mi vida nunca había tenido alguien que me dijera cosas así.
In my life, I had never had anyone tell me things such as this.
Hablé con la directora en ese tiempo
I spoke to the principal at that time,
y también con el psicólogo.
and I also spoke to the psychologist.
Me aseguraron que el niño había tenido problemas en el pasado,
They assured me that the child had had problems in the past,
pero que ellos pensaban que no iba a continuar.
but that they didn't think that this behavior would continue.
El problema continuó todo el año,
The problem continued throughout the year,
pero la administración cambió.
but the administration changed.
La nueva administración no fue a mi clase ni un día
The new administration never went, not a single day, to my class.
y pasaba esto casi diariamente, donde él me gritaba o le pegaba a otros niños.
And this became a daily occurrence where he would either yell at me or hit other children.
En el segundo trimestre, el niño decidió que se iba a hacer del baño en los pantalones
During the second trimester, this child decided that he was going to soil his pants.
y le hablaba a la dirección, bueno, a la administración y no venían por el niño.
And I would call the administration and nobody would come to get this child.
Los niños solamente se tapaban la nariz para no oler.
The rest of the children would simply cover their noses to not smell.
Más que una vez le pedí al director que viniera a ayudar porque yo no sabía qué hacer.
More than once, I asked the principal to come and help me because I did not know what to do.
Después que terminó el año, decidí mejor trasladarme a otra escuela.
When the year ended, I decided that I was just going to transfer to a different school.
No me fui de la escuela donde estaba por el niño que tuve en mi clase.
I didn't leave the school where I was working because of the child that I had in my class.
Me fui porque la administración no me quiso ayudar.
I left because the administration did not want to help me.
Como maestros, no pedimos solo niños buenos en nuestras clases.
As teachers, we don't ask that we have only good kids in our classes.
Aceptamos a todos los niños que entran en las puertas y valorizamos lo que ellos vienen.
We welcome all children who walk through our doors and we value what they begin with.
Como los dedos de las manos no son iguales.
Like no, every finger in our hands is the same.
No son iguales. Y sabemos que cada uno de los dedos tiene valor.
But we do know that each finger has a value.
Lo que pido siempre de mis alumnos es que tengan respeto a mí, que tengan respeto a los otros alumnos en la clase.
What I ask from my kids is that they respect me and that they respect the other kids in the classroom.
Y más que nada, pedimos los maestros que la administración nos ayude
But more than anything, we the teachers ask that the administration help us
cuando lo necesitemos.
when we need that help.
Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yolanda Smith.
I think I'm here right now. It's still in my face. Okay. It's been a long time. I've spoken to you in the past as a parent volunteer. I came into this district and I would appear. And for all those parents who don't work here, this is an excellent district. I'm behind the scenes and I'm so proud and when they're working so hard for our students in this community. I've been blessed to have the opportunity to serve our students, our staff, our community, and they learn to quiet me by hiring me. But now that I'm on the other side and I'm teaching, it's been wonderful. I have a chance to live my passion and teach children and love them and have patience for them. And I thank God and I appreciate the opportunity for that. This is my 6th year teaching. And over the last 2 years, I've noticed a change. Students are not being changed into different settings when we identify that they have behavioral challenges. And as a result, we're having more violence in the classroom. As she spoke, our kids are seeing and hearing things that they should not see. Teachers are being assaulted. In the last week, one of my students in another class hit a teacher with a ruler, kicked them in the shin till it bled. On Thursday, one of my students punched my substitute teacher in the face unprovoked. Both of these students returned right back to school. They didn't get suspended. Nothing happened. Yesterday, I went on a trip and my student was left at school and one of the teachers just asked him a simple question and he punched her in the face. I know that if he's returned, someone may get hurt. And it's difficult for me to stand here because I love my students. I don't want anything to happen to them, but my colleagues also need to be safe and so do their classmates. We have to do something, and that's why I'm speaking today. I've been silent, but I thought about what Mr. Avila had told us when he meets with us. He tells us to have the courage, be brave, speak, advocate for students, advocate for what's right. And that's why I'm here, because I know, I see, and I'm not going to stay silent because he has empowered me to come before you today and demand that we work hard. No district is perfect, but at least my district is trying. And I'm asking for you to continue to try and devote yourselves in our time. Find a process when these kids get in trouble, when they fight, when they assault, remove them. We need to evaluate them, assess them, come up with a plan before they return. Sending them away for 5 days doesn't help when they come right back and there's nothing to change, nothing done to influence their behavior. I'm begging you, I'm pleading you as a parent, as someone who's so appreciative of everything you've done for my family. My kids have educated here. My son graduated from Carter. He's finished now at NAU. He graduated. I thank you for that. My daughter, Maya, she spoke earlier. She attends Rialto High School. She's on a path to who knows which school right now because of what you have done for our district, and I am so appreciative and I thank you, but I have to tell you, we need your help. I would not stand here today, and most of you know me, I would not stand here today if there was not a problem. I appreciate your time, and I know for a fact you're going to do something. It's just a matter of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam President, board policy has a 20-minute cap. We are at 18 minutes. So
okay. Are there any other people wanting to talk on the same topic?
We've been silenced enough. Too long. Not silenced enough.
It's going to take me 3 minutes. You want to give this to them?
I think we might be able to waiver that policy. You're the board
fine
president.
Fine with me.
Nancy, you're the board president.
It's fine with me.
Thank you, Miss O'Kelly. I appreciate that. Are you going to call my name or are you just going to jump?
Rebecca was next. It's up to her.
Okay, I'll wait. I have no problem, darling. Get it, Rebecca. Great. We all come.
Good evening. My name is Rebecca Barbie. I'm a middle school teacher. I've been in this district for 16 years, and I have to tell you that I love it here. We all do. We all chose to be here. I've watched many things change over those years. Some things have been really good, but some have not. The biggest change I've noticed is with the students. Over the last few years, the things have become very different. I have been threatened. I have had kids swear at me. And more than once, I have been told that I can't tell them what to do. Now, please don't get me wrong. In this district, we have some really top-notch kids, some really neat kids, some really amazing students. But there are those that stand out that have a louder voice. As a mother of an 8th grader, I think about the kids that are not as loud, the kids whose education is being interrupted by the students that are causing the distraction. I think about the kids that are removed from a classroom so one student, can release their unruly behavior. As a teacher, I spend several minutes of my class period each day trying to settle down the kids to get them to work. Sometimes it's up to 15 minutes before I can begin my instruction because I'm dealing with kids that are tardy, disruptions in the hallway, attitudes, all kinds of issues. Imagine what I could do on a daily basis if I had those minutes back. If I had the resources to deal with the few, then the majority would benefit. The teachers have been, you've heard this from all of us, the teachers of this district have been begging for years. And we understand that it's not necessarily unique to this district, but this is where we work and this is where our kids learn. And something has to change. There's a problem, and these top-notch, stellar, amazing kids are being robbed of the education that they deserved. So once again, I'm here to ask, to beg, to plead, whatever. Please, there's some really good kids in this district and they deserve an education. Give us something, some sort of resource. Please help us to take our classrooms back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lorette Allen.
You want to share? I have one for everybody. Coming? Okay.
Madam President, while we're waiting, I move that we waive the 20-minute policy as there are several people waiting to speak, but I'm also concerned for those that are on the agenda. How many do we have on the agenda?
Six.
We have 6 on the agenda.
Okay. We can waive the 20-minute thing, but give them like 10 minutes to finish up?
I'm not sure how many more are on this topic other than Ms. Allen. They don't indicate. One is speaking on a library. The others don't indicate.
Okay, well, let's try.
I said we just let everybody go. Just let everybody speak.
Ready?
Go ahead.
My turn? Okay. Good evening, board members. My name is Lorette Allen. I've had the pleasure of teaching at Frisbee for 20 years. I absolutely love what I do, and I love my students. I have appeared before this board to talk about policies and procedures before, and I'm here again. I'm to ask our board members to implement universal policies and procedures. I'm asking for interventions, not suspensions. Punishment does not work. I've been at Frisbee a long time. It does not work. We need interventions. In the past couple of years, I've watched student behavior consistently decline. The number of fights increase. Truancy is out of control. Students smoking, possessing under the influence of marijuana. We've also had numerous students verbally and physically assault staff. Our safety team, however, Officers Tapia, Caroline, and Oscar, and Officer Pugh are awesome. They've developed a strong relationship with our students and do everything in their power to be proactive, present, and available to assist. Without them, our campus would be total mayhem. So a shout out to our security. Pat Connor comes by, Leary comes by, Harper comes by. It's phenomenal. Last week, though, here's one thing that happened. Last week, a student airdropped child pornography on our campus in the B Wing. It is all over my campus still. These little 6th grade kids have this video of child pornography. We need a cell phone policy. We beg for cell phone policy. It is absolutely disgusting and disturbing for a child to be able to walk down the hall and drop this. And it's still, we were discussing it today. I told them, get it off your phones. It's ridiculous. Students repeatedly ditch class with no interventions implemented. I passed out to you a paper that says the District Safety Department Student Intervention Support Services. We have these services in our district. Right here, we have a truancy program. Why are we not using them? We're asking for help, but I think we already have the policies and procedures in place. I don't know how many of you teachers have seen this, but we have drug help, we have truancy help, we have anger management. This is a phenomenal resource that I would like to see universally applied across our district. My other one was, so the truancy, I gave you packets. And I'm saying this, I have students, if you're truant 50, 60 times out of a class, how can we help them if they're not there? How can we raise test scores? We keep talking about raising test scores, but you're seeing, I cut off all the names, kids with 178, 273 period absences. Baby, I can't teach them if they don't come. Amen. We cannot move test scores up. We cannot provide for our future if we don't have innovative programs. But our district has a truancy program that is not being implemented. I was told by my principal, oh, we don't do that. Yes, we can do that. We don't have to do things the old way. I asked about the marijuana. Why aren't we sending him to drug? He said, well, we can't suspend him. I got a kid from Jay who was expelled for marijuana. So is it, we don't have universal application of our policies. You know I'm going to ask you. I want to help our kids. You hear it from all of these teachers. We have a problem in Rialto, and if we don't fix it, it's about to get us. And we're not producing the top-notch students that we can. If you come and sit on our campus, I think y'all will shake your heads. Because once one does it, the other does it. It's contagious. When you have high expectations, they meet them, but we're not getting that from everybody. We need your help. We're obviously here, but please, I would love to see every principal required to show you how they are using this instead of suspension. How do you get sent home when it's your 3rd time you've been high on campus and you're blowing up the bathroom with marijuana? Why are we not sending them to drug court to teach them how dangerous that is for them? If they're not going to school, why aren't we putting them in the truancy program? You have highly qualified people who run these programs. Can we use them? Are y'all aware of this on our board? Have you seen this beautiful thing? This is phenomenal. I would hope that every one of you teachers, have you seen this? Oh, okay. Can we fix this? Because this, I think, is an answer to what we're hearing here. Right? We have violence. We have everything you can ever imagine, y'all, is in this. And as you can ask Pat Connor, Chief Leary's more than willing to share it with you. Thank you. I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you.
Nalia Davis. Brenda Parker. Oh, sorry.
Wait, which name did you call?
Yes.
Okay. Did you call me?
What's her name?
Yes. Nellie Davis? Okay, cool. Well, I'm not talking about that thing. I'm talking about our ethnic studies and our U.S. and gender class. Super excited about it. I'm going to be speaking from the perspective of what I'm learning in our social...
So then that's on the agenda, and it's another stack. So if we want to keep them all together, we have 3 more not on the agenda. That's okay?
Yeah, that's cool. We'll call you. Come back up when we're doing agenda items.
Brenda Parker.
Good evening, everyone. Board,
Students, staff, teachers, everyone here, thank you so much for allowing me to come before you. First of all, I'm here to say thank you to Ms. Saida Jaffrey and Dr. Avila, Dr. McDuffie, and most definitely the students of DSAC for allowing me to be their keynote speaker today. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I really spoke to them. They hear from each and every student, not just from your Hispanic student, not just from your African American student, not just from your Caucasian student, but every student on your campus, because you are their leader. Just as this board is the leader of this district, we ask that you hear from everyone. So I want to say thank you. I am actually here to invite you all to the DayPAC Black History Celebration that is going to be held at Eisenhower High School on February 22nd at 10 a.m. We are really excited about this celebration. This is our 4th annual celebration for DayPAC, District African American Parent Advisory Council for the Rialto Unified School District. So I am excited. Our board is excited. Everyone excited. This year, we are honoring our parents. Our theme is equity from a parent's perspective. And our motto for this Black History Celebration is parenting is my superpower. So I want to pass these flyers out to our board members. We would love to have you there. Now, on that note, since they kind of drew me in, because I'm here at Frisbee, I just want to share a concern that I do have on the campus here in our school district. Last week, I witnessed the porn airdrop. I witnessed students setting off M80 bombs in 3 of our bathrooms while we were holding an awards assembly, and all the parents come pouring out. And then I, as the instructional technology assistant, right after that, had to go and defuse a student because they decided that they wanted to take a pen and plunge it into the power cord of a computer in the computer lab, which set off sparks and smoke. That is concerning to me. That is the ill safety that we have on our campus, and it must be addressed. We must make sure that we not only keep our staff safe, but we keep our students safe. No one is safe right now. No one is feeling safe right now. And we must make sure that we educate and keep all of our students safe here in the Rialto Unified School District. But that is going to take everyone. And I mean absolutely everyone. So I am here on behalf of parents to students, not as an employee, but as the District African American Parent Advisory Council President. I am challenging our board. I am challenging our staff. I am challenging the people that runs this district to make sure to get on board, to not crawl. I don't want you crawling. We've been crawling. That's our problem. I need you to stand upright and prostrate and walk and run and make this happen, and make it happen now, because somebody is going to get seriously hurt, and I don't want it to be me, and I don't want it to be any of them, and I don't want it to be any of our students. Do something, and do something now. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Griselda Mora.
What was the name again?
Griselda Mora.
No?
And that's all we have. So now we move.
Okay. Now on the agenda.
Okay, we're going to move on to public comments on agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
Mr. Davis.
Looks like he's
Can we all go together, Dr. Avila, on the one item for the film studies?
There's a lot of them who want to talk on ethnic studies.
Excuse me, board members.
Yes.
Did you skip additional people that wanted to speak on this topic? Because I wrote one up to speak on it.
How many people didn't get called up?
Okay, so it's 2.
That's two.
Hold on.
Camacho is my last name. And my last name is
Myrna was on the different stack, so hold on.
Okay. Myrna, and who else was it that said they didn't get called up? Mrs. Camacho, please go ahead and approach the podium.
We're good.
Good evening, board members, and Dr. Avila, Superintendent, fellow residents, of course, and administrative staff. Thank you for giving me the opportunity today to address the board and to speak to you. Today I'm not here to talk about the census, as I've been doing with Dr. Avila for quite some time. I want to make sure that I introduce myself to you and to the community. I'm a longtime civil servant. I have been a city engineer for many cities in the Inland Empire, most recently in the city of Chino, and I took a leave of absence to pursue a civic duty that I thought was so important, which is our Census 2020 count. But beyond that, I am also the wife of a teacher that has served for over 23 years here in Rialto Unified for Morris Elementary. And as a wife to a teacher and as a resident of the city of Rialto, I'm also very concerned about the reports that I hear coming back, not just from my husband, but from fellow teachers in the community. I am alarmed is the word that came to my mind when I hear that there is no safety process and protocol that is being implemented for our teachers and our students. I, as an engineer, would never be sent out to a job site without my safety vest, my steel boots, without my hard hat, and there's no way that they would allow me to do that because that is my personal private safety gear that I must wear to be protected. It sounds to me that I am here once again hearing a lot of these teachers talk about minimal requirements, minimal things that they're asking. The last time I was here to address a COLA increase about 10, 15 years ago that wasn't being implemented. And I thought, my goodness, COLA, cost of living increase, that is so basic, like taking a breath of air. This safety feature is absolutely that. It is absolutely relevant, necessary, and I do not understand how we are allowing this safety to go unchecked, to be unaddressed. So therefore, I decided that I needed to come and speak on behalf of the residents of Rialto and bring this to your attention and let you know how concerned I am that these safety processes are not being implemented. I just saw the nice teacher that showed that we apparently have something that can be implemented. So therefore, we are not reinventing the wheel here. It is a matter of implementation, and it's a matter of making sure that the funding goes towards that implementation. So as a resident, I am asking you, I am requesting officially to please address this issue, because otherwise I will have to come back. And I am a very civically minded and involved individual, and I would like for that to not have to be something I have to tackle as a resident. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Mirna Ruiz.
Good evening, board, audience, and viewing members. I was here today to speak about something completely different, but then, hearing all the teachers, but actually before I address that, I do want to ask the district something. I would like to know, as a parent, if the district is going bankrupt. The reason why I'm asking that is because we parents, and this might sound a little ridiculous, we parents are being asked to bring our own cup for our district meetings because it's getting too expensive for the district to provide cups. This was told to parents, okay? It is unbelievable, okay? So, and I do not even drink coffee, okay? So, what am I gonna be served if I bring my cup, okay? That's one point. Second point, when the teachers are addressing safety issues, okay? I totally agree with their own safety, but also as a parent, I want to tell you that some of you know that my daughter was being bullied by another student. I asked for the help. I never got the help. My daughter was never addressed the issue. They never acknowledged her feelings. She was being ignored. Some of you know that there's other students that ask for the help and they don't get the help, okay? So there's a lot of things happening here, and I hear the teachers what they're asking for, and it kind of like echoes to what I, as parents and other parents, have been asking for as well for our own students. Just like we have wonderful teachers, we have those teachers that are not so wonderful. Just like we have wonderful students, we have those students that also need the help. So as a district, we need to work together. I've been asking for trainings. I've been asking for so much help from you guys. This is not the first time that I'm up here, you know, and I come and say the wonderful things that our district is doing, because we are doing wonderful things. But we need to balance that out. We need to work together, okay? As parents, we also have a responsibility to help our students, but when we come to you as professionals, and like somebody mentioned that list, I've seen that list for a very long time. I've asked what happened to these things. Some of those, I must tell you, from experience, are not being implemented because they forgot about them, okay? As parents, I've asked, what happened to this? What happened to the Parent Safety Academy, the training that I went to? It was a 3-day training. It was forgotten. We parents wanted to help. And you guys, some of you are aware that we asked, what happened to this? The person responsible for that never implemented it again. So we need to seriously work together and help each other, but we also have to think of our students. We as adults we already lived our life. We need to help our students, whatever help they need, and we have it. It's there. We need to stop ignoring the signs. We need to seriously stop ignoring what's happening here.
Thank you. Dr. Avila, I know we have some things in the works, but we need to give it, what is it in the racing world, NOS? I mean, we need to jump on it and get it going immediately. Seriously.
So now back to items, or not, 2 items on the agenda. Mr. Davis.
And I would just like to suggest that if there's a group of people speaking on the same item, it wouldn't be bad for them to all go together.
And I believe they are, all of them.
It's on my paper.
Did Mr. Davis leave?
Right.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, please come on up.
I was hoping you would be.
He's a patient man.
Well, good evening. My name is Beth Curtis. Oh, not yet?
Mr. Davis.
Well, yeah, he's part of our group.
Yeah.
We'll make sure he gets to speak. I guarantee it.
No problem. You need us to move out the way here? Need us to move out the way for a sec?
If you'd like to, if you want to be able to see the screen better, no worries. We'll make it. We're going to make this quick. My name is Beth Curtis. Well, first of all, Board President Nancy O'Kelly, the board, Superintendent, thank you so much. My name is My name is Beth Curtis, Interim Lead Innovation Agent. Tonight, with our K item on the agenda, we would like to give you an update on Rialto's Ethnic and Social Justice course, and perhaps this is one of the first steps with student engagement. We want to tell you our plans for future courses. I just want to make sure it's working. Saida, can you see that the overhead is on?
Yeah, I did it.
So presently, there's an Assembly Bill 331, that's in committee. And it looks as if Governor Newsom is going to be signing this bill. And this bill would make ethnic studies a graduation requirement starting in the 23-24 school year. Governor Brown had a similar bill in front of him, but he did not sign it. But before he left, he charged the CDE, the Instructional Quality Commission, to start developing course curriculum. So what I want to tell you is that ethnic studies as a graduation requirement is coming. It's just a matter of when. Last year, I had the wonderful, distinct pleasure to get to work with 7 amazing teachers, talented teachers in this district, to create Rialto's first ethnic studies course. And tonight they're going to tell you a little bit more about what's happening with that course and our future plans.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Liliana Castrovias, and I'm a proud teacher at Rialto High School, but most importantly, I'm one of 3 ethnic and social justice studies pioneers. We started the journey under the tutorship of 2 amazing people, our consultants, Veronica Valdez, Professor of Ethnic Studies at Cal State University Channel Islands, and Gabriel Orozco, LA USD Ethnic Studies teacher and board president of El Rancho Unified School District. The professional guidance has enabled me to teach this course with authenticity, even if it means feeling vulnerable at times. The critical lens I use to teach this course, which I acquired from the countless hours of professional development, has definitely transformed me as a teacher and my students. Although they are only 9th graders, this course has empowered them to think critically and view the world from a different perspective. In fact, through the many culturally relevant lesson plans, many of our students have found their voice, and others have found answers to questions they've always had and nobody has ever answered. I invite you to pay us a visit and witness the transformational teaching that is taking place in our classrooms. Now I'm going to share with you a little bit of the ethnic studies by numbers. 235 hours invested in this course. 228 students currently enrolled in the course. 1 comprehensive course curriculum of its kind in the district, possibly in the state, considering that the state has not yet released theirs. 2 ethnic studies experts that have initiated this curricular instructional ripple effect of change. 3 films created about student cultural experiences. 180 days of lessons we have created for this course, 4 ethnic studies pioneers, and last but not least, 16 teachers on their path to developing additional courses. Thank you. I apologize. Lastly, this is some of the work that my students in the ethnic and social justice class have created. Family tree, their American dream, their interpretation of the American dream, 1-pagers on reflections on the multiple ancient civilizations and their role, and of course the films that were created. Very reflective work, transformational, and just extremely personal and challenging, but once again, just phenomenal. And it's been an honor to teach this class, and I continue to teach it with pride.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Leslie Carrion, and I am a teacher and an alumni of Eisenhower High School. Miss O'Kelly was, yes, Miss O'Kelly was my principal. My husband was your TA in middle school, Miss O'Kelly. Okay, so within this new course, there are 6 very powerful units of instruction. You can see their titles on the screen. The most important thing I want you to know, Board, is the importance of professional development for the sustainability of this course. Though this is my 17th year as a teacher, having the training from our 2 consultants was essential to my success in creating a critical lens within our students and myself. This has definitely been transformative for me as an educator, and the lessons we have created have been one of the most powerful in my teaching career. I wanted to share with you a snapshot of my class. One of the things that I've seen in my students is just pride in their culture. So I just put up there a couple pictures. I don't know where the other ones are, but a couple pictures of students celebrating Mexican Independence Day. We've been to several field trips, one of them being the California African American Art Museum. We had an opportunity to run into Carl Jones, who had an exhibition there. Some African masks that we did. The students learned about Native African culture and art, and then some positive messages that some of my students were writing on the desk with expo markers that you can erase for the next students. And so like Ms. Casiribia said, it's just a powerful class, but the only way that I can be successful and effective is through the professional development. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, especially the board. When I speak, I know that I'm among friends. In my 33 years as an educator for Rialto Unified School District and a product of Rialto Unified School District, I was greatly moved by hearing the words of Ms. Randall and my fellow colleagues in what we're experiencing. But if we look at what we are doing with the ethnic studies, it is a ground roots movement to cause change and transformation. It is about building transformation, and is building transformation from the most important population that we have here at the district, and that is our students. When we look at what is essential for our students, is that for them to build agency. And for them to build agency, it is important for them to have a culturally responsive environment in which they feel connected and they feel engaged and they feel respected, so that they can live that experience. We have to bridge this among our teachers and our students to build that community. I know, because I am that community. I am that student. I am the student that stands before you as an educator, as a professional educator, and I know in my dialogues with every single one of you, many of you here, we are aware of what our needs are, our products, our goals, and our most important foundations, and that's our students. So this class focuses on the foundations of what we need our students to build. It focuses on the relationship their teachers will build with them, and most of all, it builds that student agency for social change, that they become the agents of their own positive behavior because they have a sense of belonging to Rialto Unified School District. They need to feel that they are who they are, the most important product in our schools. And so without this professional development that we have had, and I'm going to tell you the most important and exciting thing of my educational career, this professional development becomes and is grounded in our demographics. It is not professional development that is a cookie cutter professional development. No. These professional experts have come in, they're looking at our needs, they're looking at our demographics, and we're building a curriculum. There is no textbook. We are building it with our student needs. That is what we're doing. It is groundbreaking. It is an exciting time in my educational career, the best. I am proud to be among you and excited for these transformational changes. I know that we want to build this. Let's do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ophelia.
Good evening. Okay, so my name is Jose Aguilera Lopez, and I am a proud teacher at Carter High School. So just quickly, I've been really blessed in this district, and as a first-year teacher, I'm happy to be part of history, because being just this new class, the district has spoiled me. I had the opportunity to visit the Footstep to Freedom, so it was the Underground Railroad experience. So to have that opportunity and bring that into my classroom has been it's been powerful. And just to kind of give you a little bit of what my students have done, so we just finished a unit on indigenous groups, and a lot of the kids are exposed to indigenous groups such as the Mayans, Aztecs, but I decided to bring something in. I wanted to bring in indigenous groups from Africa, and I wanted kids to understand that African American history does not start with slavery, and there's so much culture that exists way before that. And just a little process, there was in the project there was a 3-piece. We had a research part to it, we had a presentation, and then they had to create their own masks. And so as you guys see, this is all of these masks are hanged out in my classroom today. And I just want to start off also with the professional development. As a new teacher, it was scary, and I thought I was going to be in an island. But the family that I created in different sites, Rialto, Eisenhower, and our leaders here are Beth, you've been amazing. We've been united in this process. So, and then I just wanted to give a little example here. We did a privilege walk. So I wanted kids to understand the notion of privilege. And I started with basic questions of, who's left-handed? And then we started getting in deep. We started saying, okay, so who missed a meal yesterday? And in order for this to work, we have to build a safe environment in the classroom. And these kids, they're eating this stuff up. And when you have kind of tears in the classroom, man, it becomes very powerful. And I see myself a lot here in Rialto, coming single parent welfare. It's very powerful because a lot of these kids, I see myself in them, and it has become, and I just can't wait to see this class expand. And so we need your guys' support and everything, and help us continue to help this class grow. So I really appreciate your time, and thank you for everything. But one last thing, I brought one of my students, Robert Dominguez III. He has become a leader in my classroom, and although it's a freshman class, he's a junior, and he's become a junior, and I want him to kind of talk a little bit of his experience. And by the way, I did not pay him to say this speech, so everybody, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Robert Dominguez. I am here tonight to share with you all what I have learned from ethnic social justice studies. I have learned the Latino and African American cultures and how they've been treated over the past 100 years. We have been looked down upon and been criticized. This class helped me be a better citizen because I am more understanding and can now talk about my opinion to others. This class should be more well known due to the fact that it is good for students to know their background of their race and how we should do what's right. What history has taught us is that racism is still very much out there, and in this class we have learned to be better individuals and can unite to prevent history from repeating itself. While we still experience these things in today's society, thanks to this class we can see things and understand each other. Thank you all for listening to me tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, we're good now. It's my turn. It's all right. This professional development has been absolutely amazing. All of this stuff is extremely rich. It's good. It's capturing our hearts. It's making us smile, seeing what these amazing teachers have been doing. And I was just introduced to our social justice class, our U.S. history and gender and race that we're going to be teaching next year. And this amazing family, these amazing teachers have brought me in. Our amazing professional develop has made us feel like a family. And usually when you go to PDs, it's like, all right, here we go. We're going to the PD. But I can honestly tell you that we are in the sessions and we're learning, we're hungry, we're on fire, the 16 teachers that they mentioned. And they talked about 235 hours. I don't look at that as hours. I look at it as their heart. I look at it as passion. I look at it as what they truly believe in. And that's what's in this class. And that's what I believe in. And that's what this professional development, that's what we talk about every single time we get together. I love my class. I love being at work. But when we get professional development, it's kind of cool. You get to go. I get excited to go. And also, I just want to thank my administration for putting me into this class and giving me the opportunity to teach it. So this has been an amazing opportunity. I can promise you that this class will be alive. It's going to be well. Teachers are excited about it. There's going to be some change. And also, think about who's going to come out of this class. We are going to build some crazy advocates. We're going to build some crazy protesters. Presidents are going to come out of this class. So I'm speaking it. I'm excited about this. It's going to happen. Thank you.
How much time do I have? My name is Dr. Mowo from Milo Continuation High School. And I am one of the teachers in the Ethnic Studies program. And I am really excited because this is how I have always taught. And to actually have my district acknowledge how I teach, what I want my students to get from their education, is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. I go to my professional development excited because there's so much that I learn from my colleagues and so much that I can contribute. It's fun to be there. My colleagues have said almost everything that they need to, that I wanted to say, but I wanted to add. I have always thought of my role as one through which I could concretely carry out the dreams and aspirations on which this country was founded. To make this a more perfect union, as hoped for by President Lincoln, whose holiday we celebrated on Monday, and whose actual birthday is today. Additionally, the true goal of ethnic studies is succinctly captured in two quotes by Thomas Jefferson. Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. Ethnic studies is an integral part of our education of well-rounded citizens. I hope we'll be able to carry this out with fidelity in our district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, last one, I promise. And I didn't pay Nalik to say what he said, okay? It's out of the heart. As an administrator, first of all, I would like to thank Superintendent Dr. Avila and Beth Curtis for their support, flexibility, and most importantly, their trust in our teachers to create a curriculum to represent our demographics. These teachers have collaborated together as a unified school district. Their work ethic has inspired me to continue to support cultural awareness. I, along with my teachers, look forward to creating an ethnic studies pathway at the high school level. We look to create classes in ethnic art, Afro-Latin jazz, and Spanish language ethnic classes, giving the students an opportunity to take classes and be recognized at multicultural events, senior award night, and graduation with a medal or cord. We need to remember, once you understand and appreciate other people's cultures and backgrounds, then you can also connect with them with a deeper understanding and respect. Thank you.
So thank you very much. I just want to let you know that the two courses that we're creating right now are Multicultural Lit for 10th grade and U.S. History, Race and Gender for 11th grade. Thank you.
Well, I want to know, with all that enthusiasm, where can I sign up? Okay. I will. I will be visiting. I want to see this.
Yeah, I'll have some.
Okay, are there any other comments on agenda items?
No more comments.
Okay. Comments from association executive board members. First, Rialto Education Association, REA.
Good evening, Board. Thank you, Dr. Avila, staff, and viewing audience. My name is Lisa Lindberg, President of the Rialto Education Association. I was really pleased to see all the teachers here from the ethnic studies tonight, a lot of veterans, and I recognized some of the names of the new teachers because we sent them to that new conference in December down in San Diego. So Nalik and Jose, congratulations. Your enthusiasm is infectious, so thank you. I don't have anything to add to what our members said previously. I think they spoke to that, and they spoke to it well. I do want to introduce you to our new negotiations chairperson since Leslie Chambers retired last year. Teresa Robinson has been on our negotiations team for over a dozen years, and she is now our chair. So Teresa Robinson will take it from here. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, Board.
Welcome.
Superintendent, District Office, parents, friends, family, community, colleagues. I want to start off with thanking the Board for the opportunity to come before you tonight to present to you our REA proposal. I also implore each of you to please read it so that you can see that where we have the ability to align our proposal with the LCAP, we did. Those 8 state priorities, we give you our ideas of what some of those basic services under condition of learning should look like in Article 5 of our contract. There are also areas in our proposal where we align with the district's mission, its beliefs, its parameters. One of the district's mission is to provide a safe and engaging learning environment for our students, and REA wants that wholeheartedly, not only for our students, but also for our teachers. We want a safe working environment so that we then can give our students that rich learning environment that we boast about in our district. The district believes that risk is also essential, that it goes hand in hand with the brave men and women who step daily on our high school campuses after they volunteered their service to our country, so that you and you and you and I and the majority of us in this room can take on the title of civilian because they were willing to stand in that gap and they put themselves at risk, but they allowed us to do what we do, you to govern, the district to lead, and for those of us in here to teach. And yet they come to our campuses to teach and to instill that same type of characteristics and service to our young people, to our children, and yet we can't seem to actually get them on the right teaching salary scale like we have with our CTA colleagues. I think we can do better than that, and I know we can do better than that. And I know that we don't want to be behind the 8 ball looking at what is this district doing, what is that district doing. We don't want to be at the bottom of the mountain looking up. We want to be Rialto, which stands on the top of the mountain, which stands on the pinnacle, and we look out and we say, where are we headed next? And others look at us as the leader. So I know this is one of the areas that we want to address. And lastly, in regards to our parameters here in our district, one of those parameters that our district talks about is that we will make all decisions in the best interest of our students. And with that being said, we shouldn't wait then for our students to get into middle school, into high school, before they can get to a counselor. If we know that we have problems coming out of our elementary schools, we need to make that a priority. And therefore, one counselor for 20 schools, or one for 10, or one for 5, that's not in the best interest of our students. And therefore, we should be able to ensure that we can get a counselor at each and every one of those elementary schools, considering the fact of the issues that are coming out of them. And lastly, also making sure that we also understand that in elementary school, we're also looking at age-appropriate remedies. And that some of our children are just that, they're children. And they are filled with energy, and they should be able to get that energy out at least once a week with some type of PE. And I know that for those of us who have children, we all understand little kids, they need to get out. They need to run that out. And so therefore, I think that we can be able to provide that elementary level of PE for our students. And so with that being said, I implore each of you guys, take a look at a proposal. I thank you for the opportunity to come and to present to you tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
My own copy.
Okay, next, here he is, California School Employees Association, CSEA, Mr. Cordasco.
Madam President, can we excuse our student board member? It's after 9.
You don't want to go home, do you?
Okay, you're welcome to stay.
I just would like to make the suggestion that from here on, he just goes whenever he's got to go. I don't want him to think we're kicking him out all the time. From now on, whenever you got to go or your mom tells you got to go, just go. Don't even ask permission. You're a board member. You can leave when you want.
And
He has comments, in case he has comments.
And also, we just want to thank Mr. Douglas for joining us tonight. Usually we get Mrs. Douglas, but welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Bye, Aviance.
Good evening, Rialto Unified family. I'm Chris Cordasco,
Welcome.
President, Chapter 203. Before I begin my report tonight, I want to make one thing real clear. Make no mistake, there's no division in this. Chapter 203, classified staff stand with teachers. Unfortunately, I have 2 incidents from a classified view tonight to share with you. In the last month, it's been reported to me at an elementary school, we had a student that was sent to the front office. There was no administration present, no TOSA on the site. The student spent 45 minutes in the front office, running amok, standing on chairs, came around back behind the secretary's desk, punched and kicked and assaulted the secretary, messed up her desk, disrupted the whole day. This kind of behavior, it can't happen. The student needs help, and we need someone to help them. Just today, I got a report at my executive board meeting at a middle school. I have an instructional aide who was physically groped by a student. Apparently this has been going on, and this is a known behavior for this student. The teacher has asked for help. My staff has asked for help. We're not getting it. I do want to say that on a positive note, we've been working with Robin McMillan, principal at Rialto Middle School, on some issues there, dealing with staff, and she's been very professional. She's worked with us to deal with those problems, and we've made progress. I want to close tonight by saying all students, all staff deserve action, not words. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Communication Workers of America, CWA.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome.
I did not know I was supposed to wear a red shirt, but I do have my red lanyard. Basically, we also stand with all of our groups too, the teachers and classified, everyone. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. No? Okay, moving on. Comments from the superintendent.
Thank you, President O'Kelly. Just a couple of quick highlights, and once again, just happy belated birthday, 100th birthday to Mrs. Randall. Also, congratulations to the Kiwanis Club of East Rialto students who were honored from Eisenhower High School, Fabiola Martinez Rodarte and Andres Juarez, and from Carter High School, Karen Hernandez and Ethan Martin. Also a first, congratulations to Rialto High School for placing 5th in the county, San Bernardino County Academic Decathlon. This is the first time that the school has placed. It was a group of 43 teams representing 25 San Bernardino County schools that competed. So congratulations to the students and the teachers, the staff who worked with those students. Also, on this past Monday, President's Day, had the honor to join Trapp Middle School staff, teachers, administration over at Disneyland to have our picture taken with State Superintendent Tony Thurman, as Trapp Elementary received once again a California Distinguished School Award. So congratulations to the entire team at the school. And also, just congratulations to all of the athletic teams that are currently in the playoffs, the winter sports athletic programs that are currently in the playoffs. And also, just want to thank all of the science fair winners, students who were recognized last night at Eisenhower High School for this year's science and engineering fair. Congratulations to each of them. I want to say thank you to Miss Jessica Bucko, who we saw recently at one of our board meetings being recognized. I want to thank her for inviting us, some of the staff here at the district office, to view her display of the work that her students have done. It was just an amazing display of art and expressing a lot of concepts, a lot of ideas, a lot of pain, a lot of emotion that kids are experiencing, but being able to do it through art, through poetry, through video, and other mediums was just very powerful, a very powerful opportunity for kids to express exactly how they feel. And with that, just want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's this week.
Thank you. Okay, comments from the board. Mr. Ayala.
Thank you, President O'Kelly. I want to elaborate tonight. I know we've heard it from a lot of individuals, but I do want to share a few comments from the board, especially myself. Safety for our kids and our staff. That's should be a no-brainer, but you know, the reality is we work with children at all levels, and there's thousands of them out there. On a daily basis, you're going to have issues. With recent changes from Sacramento, it's made it more difficult to work with some of these severe cases. Have a lot of empathy for the staff. Understand the parents too, you know. They have issues and important issues about their children, and they want them protected, and they should be. We're professionals, and we should do our best to work with these kids and find ways to protect those kids from themselves, from others. Let's just talk about what happens at home just for a second. So when the kids are at home and they don't take the trash out, they don't make their beds, then you take it to another level, and they maybe kick their little sister, or the little sister pulls hair, or they start bullying one another, or they're not fair and they're constantly causing problems with one another. What do the parents do? Obviously, you know, at home there's a different set of rules. There are consequences, hopefully. And if you instill those consequences early on, you have a chance. If you don't bring those consequences and the child never cries, you may regret that you didn't involve yourself a little more when they were younger, because once they get set in their ways, it's very, very difficult In other words, you send a student down to the counselor's office over and over and over again, and no consequences. The child is just going to put his hands up and say, hey, go ahead, send me down there again. Nothing's going to happen anyway. You can even look to Washington, and you can see that there's no consequences there either. We got a troubled society, but we're not going to give up just because we got better things to do. It's important not just to voice an opinion, but it's also important to share an opinion, and that's what I want to do. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We have issues that we need to attend to. The world's not going to come to an end, but I really, really believe that we can address these issues, and we can address them in a way that we can resolve them. What we're talking about here is really classroom management. We're talking about our teachers working with the kids understanding that the programs are there for them. We often forget that the academics can be very, very challenging. So much to the point that if a child doesn't feel included, don't feel like education's for them, how can we really expect for them to be positive and behave accordingly? So what I'm saying here is we need to form some committees. I know you've heard this before, but those committees need staff, they need administrators, you need teachers, you need parents, and you need the students. You need to come up with a reasonable solution, and when these solutions are that important, you don't just come up with one resolve and say this is going to take care of it. This is an ongoing book that must be rewritten from time as needed. And so when people sign off on it and say, hey, now we're not crawling anymore, now we're starting to shift gears, applying the knocks. We can do it, and I believe we are going to do it. But the question is when, because it's going to require some sacrifices, it's going to require some scheduling, it's going to require some invitations, it's going to require some more education, but we can do it. All right, in summary, the future of our kids rely on the decisions that we make today. And, you know, I don't believe anybody's here to make wrong decisions or hurt our children, because that is the #1 priority. But let's not forget that we need to support our teachers, because they're in that classroom on a daily basis with our precious children, and they need our help. And I honestly believe everybody on this dais here is going to do their best to give them that help. Thank you so much for an opportunity to share a few words with you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Excuse me, Mr. Montes.
Thank you, Ms. O'Kelly. I just would first like to welcome everybody here tonight. I did want to say that when I pulled into the parking lot, there was a picket going on outside. There was a protest, and I purposely wore this shirt today to send a message to our teachers that we support them. We want to support them, and we're going to support them. I ran out there and asked them to let me borrow a sign, and I started picketing with them for about a minute because the board meeting was going to start. But actions speak louder than words, and I think we can only talk so much and we can only say so much before before people start saying, hey, well, what's going on? You guys are saying you want to help. You guys are saying you're going to help, but it doesn't seem like you're helping. And we can only do as much as we can as board members. But like Mr. Brinker said, the buck stops with the board. And I wholeheartedly agree. I hold myself responsible for my shortcomings as a board member. I think accountability starts with holding oneself accountable. So I accept that, and I'll own it. But I do want to speak with actions and not only just wear this shirt and say that I'm supporting our teachers, but I do want to make some recommendations. For a while now, we've been hearing the importance of counselors at our schools, the importance of counselors at the early level, and I wonder what could our district do with an army of counselors. An army of counselors, not just one counselor per school, but literally an army of counselors. Counselors and counselors are not the only people that can have a positive and impactful influence on students. We all know that principal or that teacher or that custodian or that PE coach who can influence hundreds of kids, do influence hundreds of students, that campus security guard that all the kids listen to, and when we talk about counselors, we don't just need counselors on a professional level, counselors that provide counseling services, but we need parents, we need teachers, we need principals, we need superintendents, we need board members to get out there on those front lines to help somehow, some way. It's unfortunate that our teachers or some of our teachers have to come here and beg us for anything at all. I'm sick and tired of hearing of witnessing the outcry from our front lines, and we owe it to not only ourselves as a board, but to this district and to those kids to make sure that we do everything possible to make it easier for everyone. And just saw those teachers who had the enthusiasm about ethnic studies and have that energy and that excitement. I want that same excitement and energy for all our teachers. They should be able to have that type of excitement, that happiness, that passion about teaching. What are we doing that's preventing them from doing that? What are we doing that's preventing them from not being happy about going to work and having to deal with all of our shortcomings? So with that said, let's get on the ball, because time is precious.
Absolutely.
We had a centenarian right here, 100 years old. Time is precious. Not everybody gets that much time. That's all I have. Thank you.
Very good.
Well done.
And we don't want our teachers to burn out, which will happen with this level of frustration. Yes, Mr. Martinez, go ahead.
Thank you, President O'Kelly. First of all, my shortcomings begin with I don't have the answers. This is a national problem. You look on YouTube, do a search for it. No one has answers at this point. Miss Allen, I thank you for that list. I was unaware of it. And I'm going to ask every administrator, it's not my job, it's the superintendent's job, so I will ask the superintendent to make this list available to all admins, and for the admins to actually spend some time reviewing it. I know you're already overwhelmed. I get that. But there's some good stuff on here. I've been in education for 34 years. Anyone on the front lines experiences that kind of interface with whether it's parents or students. It's a shame, but it's a reality. If you're on the front lines, whether it's security, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a guidance counselor or a secretary, you're going to see the worst and the best behavior. And I don't get to see either extreme. Of course, we all want to see the best and don't want to see the worst. But that is the reality. The one thing that, for me, seems to be a common denominator is Sacramento. They keep enforcing things imposing things on us, a school district. They say it's local control. Well, as long as you stay within their little box, otherwise you don't get their money. So I'm going to talk to the people who I interface with regularly, and that would be the office of Eloise Reyes and Connie Leyva, Assemblywoman Reyes and Senator Leyva. I'm going to give them a red flag and let them know that this is a nationwide problem. Talk to their peers. Don't go into legislate with your eyes closed. Sure, it sounds great, but you legislate something, push it down, and all you're doing is saying, it's not my problem, it's a school district local problem. And it ends up on our teachers' desks, on our admins' desks. Again, I don't have the answer, but I'm wearing a red shirt because I believe in you. And I want you to know that within the confines that I know, I will work within that and try and help. I do want to tell the public a bit, even though REA didn't say it. It's not Redford. It's hashtag Red4Ed, and it has to do with finance. That is specifically why I wore the shirt. I didn't know that the rest of it was entangled with it. Okay, we've got a lot of work to do. We've spent a lot of time, and it was a good effort for us to listen. I hope we are able to do something. We're going to try. That's all I can promise. Madam President.
Thank you. Ms. Vice President.
As well, I just want to say that I usually don't start off. I'm not trying to be reactionary to what we hear on the public panel, but some of the things kind of hit home. Just kind of some concerns, I guess, for me. Two things are just big things. So we're talking about the teacher safety and school safety, period. Some things around some of the new things that have happened in our district I didn't know about, so I'd like to get some answers. So we have these wellness centers that are all over our district now, and I know I heard someone say about not having staffing for the wellness centers. So you can just get me just information back. Like, do we have full-time staffing, or is there somebody in the wellness centers that we have all around the district on a regular? Okay, well.
Then why do we have them?
So
good question.
So that's just a question. You don't have to, just a question. So give me the information. And then if I would like to have where there is the gap. So if there's sites, and I know we've cut ribbons on many a school, what is the staffing to support that? Then the other opportunity is, if we do not have we looked into how we're going to partner with the county behavioral health department to get people staffing if we don't have, ideally, money within our regular standing budget, right? Because I understand that if we encumber what that means if we hire somebody. Okay, so that's one. The other thing is, I don't know if that was else. Chris, somebody brought up a thing about when you have a student return from a suspension, But if there was no intervention for the student when they left, then they come back to the classroom with the same behaviors or even the same attitude or mindset. And so I understand that this is not a one-day fix, but this may be something how we look into when students are, especially if there's a behavior that's repetitive, right? So this is something, it's one thing, it gets suspended once, they come, you know what, if there's a repetitive behavior, what are we doing with for those students or students very similar with, you know, when they have kind of that reintroduction back into the classroom, because they just sit at home for 5 days, they come back, that does nothing for the teacher, that does nothing for the students as well. And so what does that look like? I'm not trying to be punitive to the students, but I'm just saying, what does that look like to support the student coming back and being amiable in class, to be, you know, to actually to learn, as well as to support the teacher who can't manage another kid, you know, with disruptive behaviors, and still teach an effective lesson in a class. So that was my number 2 thing. The other thing is really kind of in reference to that point is, are we looking at, because I know some students, are we still looking at the root cause of students' behavior? So it's one thing to just kind of prescribe, we're gonna do this for the kid, but what is the root cause of that actual behavior? And so those are the kinds of things that even in our professional capacity here at the district, as we've hired more people around behavioral health and some of the sort of supports and some of our contractors, really being able to support the students on the root causes of some of the behaviors. I know some of the students have identified behaviors within their own educational program, but there are some other things, and when kids don't necessarily even have an IEP or something designated, that we still need to identify what the root cause of the behaviors. And some of it is not all on students, because I know some of that is reflective in people, in grown folks. So really trying to understand what that means for the root causes of some of those things. So the other piece is just going back to even, you know, counseling and having full-time counselors. If you understand budgets, and not that I am by no means the expert on budgets, I just have a little bit of information, just a little bit of information. But when we encumber full-time people, that means we have to have full-time money ongoing until that person retires, right? So if you get a counselor and they're young and spry at 26, and they're healthy and they grow all the way to be as old as our, you know, our person that we celebrated tonight, do we have the money to keep that person on staff in that way? Because it's a different thing, and when we talk about, you know, just money that we have right now versus money that we'll have 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and so on and so forth. Those are all the things that the district has to consider when they're, you know, providing staffing. Now, I say all that to say, if we're really concerned about that, then we really need to make sure that we're looking at legislation and we're getting involved around the legislation that comes down from the state around how we fund schools. So that means the LCFF money, as well as other legislation around propositions and whatnot, and how that money comes back to schools. Because unfortunately, and I say this as an advocate, you know, having to inform people and say, just don't fight at your local level. Don't just fight the district people and the board here. We're only dealing with what the state has identified to give us into the school district. That if you want the fight and you need the money, parents and everybody else in this room, we got to take it to the state. You got to take it to the federal government, how they disperse and give the schools entitlement money, right? Because if they only give you $10, regardless, that's only what we have to work with, right? So just to really understand our point and our place here as a district, not just as a board member, just as a district, as citizens of this city, as citizens of this board, we have to look at all the facets on how we get supported here in the district and what part do we play. So if you're involved in a union, if you're involved in a parent group, if you're just a citizen on the street, get the information, know how you're voting, know what things are that are impacting schools. So that's my big giant piece. The other piece is, this is my happy note. So excited about the ethnic studies and social justice curriculum, because if you've known anything, you know, they're, especially for myself and Edgar, we have been really kind of like, this is game changing, right? Especially for communities of color, around identification and narrative stories and things of that sort. Seeing the energy from the teachers, I mean, like, that's exciting. But I want to just caution us to, you know, all the way around, not to really think about the fact that it's just the ethnic studies coursework or curriculum where we can have intersectionality of race, gender, history, ethnic, you know, it's not just those classes. You teach art in art. You can teach the art of all peoples in your art class. You can teach the literature of all peoples in your English class. AP literature doesn't mean you just hang up on all the old white men and old white women. To understand that you can bring the classics within that, and it doesn't have to be an ethnic studies class. So as I say again about how we interact civically around education, especially that we need to use our voices in all those pieces. It's not about getting a whole nother set of ethnic studies classes. It's about learning and teaching other folks how to bring those things into your quote-unquote general ed regular class. Because we're all still in there. We didn't transport another group of students into those ethnic studies classes and say they're different than all of our other students. They're the same students which need the same kind of background, narrative, cultural responsive teaching, culturally relevant teaching in all of our classes, whether English, math, science, or PE. We still need that. So we have to always think deeper than just kind of this surface level, because all of this work never happens until we actually do something systems-wide, and we are the local system, not the state, not the federal. But if you're serious about change, that you guys have to take your body and your power, and I'm saying this to myself too, because I'm in this all day. You have to take your body, your power, your voice, your vote, and do those things that impact education here locally. There's nothing that we can do if we don't have any money to do it. Now I'm upset because I'm mad about whoever told my parent that they need to bring their own cup for a parent meeting.
Right.
Oh, I'm mad about that. That's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So whoever said that,
deal with them.
Take your earrings off. Understand that's ridiculous. So we need to figure out what that looks like, and if there's a budget issue of whatever on supplies we need to allocate and change, then we need to do that, because that's ridiculous. But again, back to our budget, how those things are made are legislatively, those are all decision-making things. And if you're concerned about it for my parents, you gotta go to the LCAP meetings and we gotta read all the line items. You have to read all of the line items, parents, okay? And don't let us, because I'm part of us, don't let us slip by and put a plan that is not serving the students of this district and does not serve your interests. So that's your accountability, that's my accountability. And on a last, my happy note, do not forget to go to the annual Black History Celebration on February 22nd. The breakfast, it's a breakfast.
I have a funny feeling there's another event that day.
There probably is. There's probably a mini event. But please don't forget
I hope not.
Support the District African American Parents group with their annual Black History breakfast.
It's a wonderful event.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walker. It is late, but I'm going to hurry here. First of all, I want to congratulate, I went to the Science Fair Awards last night, and it was wonderful. And the names of some of these projects that won, they must have been absolutely exciting to be part of. So congratulations to all those students and teachers, and we just have to keep growing. It was a big science fair, but there's a lot more out there, so we have to keep growing the science fair. I also want to congratulate Rialto High for coming in 5th at the academic decathlon, which is a monumental achievement out of 43 schools, and Eisenhower came in 10th, which is still monumental. So I want to recognize Eisenhower for coming in 10th in the academic decathlon. And congratulations to all the sports teams that made CIF or won tonight or whatever. We were hearing it all, so it was great. I'm an educator, as everybody knows. I was a teacher for many, many, many years, about 20, and then I went into administration and was there for about 12 or 13 more, and then I ran for the school board, and here I am. So I've been in the business a long time. Teachers, I hear your frustration, and I don't like it, because I know what that will lead to, is people who don't want to teach anymore, and we need our teachers. So I sympathize completely with you, and it is difficult if not impossible, to teach when students are being defiant and disruptive and disrespectful. And I believe that we have to come up with a plan that is going to curb that behavior. And if the plan that we're supposedly doing right now is not working, we have to change it to one that will work. So you have my commitment. We are going to work on providing the resources and support you need. It can't happen overnight, but we are working on it, and we're going to get this thing back on the right track so you don't have to come down here and yell at us. Thank you. Okay, and now let's move on with the rest of the agenda. Oh, and all the high schools, if they're still here, I will be calling, because I seriously want to see what you're doing in your ethnic studies classes. So I will be calling you to arrange for a visit. Okay, public hearing, there is none. Consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? Reference E through J.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any polls?
Other than the one already recommended in the...
That's not in the consent calendar. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we move on to item K, discussion action items. Can I have a motion to approve? Number 1?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, approve amendment number 1 to the agreement with Hetcotol. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that word. Wind Philosophies to provide 17 full days of professional development to high school teachers in the facilitation of the creation of multicultural literature and U.S. history, race and gender courses prior to June 30th, 2020. All other terms and conditions of the agreement will remain the same at a cost of $55,828 to be paid from the general fund. This is why the ethnic studies teachers were referring to professional development when they spoke tonight. They are getting a lot from this, and I think it's absolutely exciting and want to move forward with it. So anyway, we have a motion. We have a second. Vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and number 2, deny liability claim number 19-20-04. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 3, approve the recommendations of the administrative hearing panel. Administrative hearing case numbers 19, well, that one was pulled. 19-20-40 was pulled, so we're not voting on that. 19-20-39, and then stipulated expulsion case numbers 19-20-46, 19-20-43, 19-20-41. Reinstatement hearing case number 18-19-64, 18-19-21. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on Wednesday, February 26th at 7 o'clock at the Dr. John R. Casalunas Education.
Sorry, point of order. We forgot to motion and second it. So I'll make a motion to approve K3 with the exception of the pulled 19-20-40.
Second.
Okay, then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
I thought I did that, but okay. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, well, our student board member's not here, so all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourning the meeting at 9:41 p.m.